What will you do starter-wise without Bruno?
Cam starting.
John center. Is that a matchup-driven thing against Houston, or just best players?
A little bit. You can go different ways. Have a bigger guy down the floor, protect. John can match up with PJ Tucker. I just thought the more versatile bodies we have to match up with James and switching situations, the way they play, Cam fits that bill a little bit more.
Coach, with Westbrook being held out of tonight's game, what is it about Houston that allows them to remain so balanced despite his absence? There's an elite player in James and a lot of guys that fit their role very well. You see the emergence of Ben McLemore, who's bounced around a little bit in the league, but as a catch and shoot three-point player, a guy that can run the floor and get out in transition and slash behind the defense. There's not a lot of ball responsibility for him in terms of pick and roll and making plays for others. So he fits in extremely well. PJ Tucker's been one of the top three-point shooters all year, and he gets to sit in the corner. And then, it's just, I think, when you go down the line, Capella, PJ Tucker, Rivers when he comes in, and then they get Eric Gordon back. Eric Gordon now becomes the secondary playmaker for them. But it all comes back to one guy. And so because of the isolation attempts that he has, and the ability to create for other guys, and the amount of attention that he draws when you send extra bodies and double teams and anything else you can think of, the other guys, their role is very much simplified.
With Westbrook out, does that change how aggressive you could be with Harden tonight?
No. In a lot of ways, it's harder. I think there's some things you can do with Westbrook when he's out there, that you can't do now. Eric Gordon presents a different problem than Westbrook. Westbrook attacks the rim, he gets downhill. Eric Gordon gives him more of a three-point shooter. So now you're hesitant. You're worried about it more. I think the biggest thing with Westbrook is if you double team James and they throw it to Westbrook, now he's attacking closeouts and he's attacking rotations and he's getting to the rim, and there's a lot of other things that come with that. Whereas when you have a lot of guys that are spaced, they shot 51 threes against us in the first game. It's what they do. They always lead the league in three-point attempts. The volume of the attempts in relation to the number of shots they get is what scares you. And when you have to double team, it's even more worrisome when you have a lot of guys that are shooting the three well. It comes back down to James, and then it comes down to when you get the ball out of his hands, what position are the other guys in to make plays? If they're catch and shoot, pretty good. If they have to make decisions, a little bit tougher.
How does Jabari hanging in there after the procedure that he went through?
I know he was sore. Just reading the notes, I haven't spoken to him, but I know he was sore just coming off the procedure. We won't know much about what's going to happen for a couple weeks in terms of his reevaluation, and it's just one of those things.
How does it change things for you having to, navigate things with him? I mean, I know you're used to being shorthanded at this point, but what do you change with him being out?
Well, you lose your backup four, and you creatively find ways to do it. Obviously, Vince has been the backup four pretty much all year, however you look at it. John being out, now Jabari being out, so his role stays the same. We were hoping to play some matchups and some lineups where Jabari and John were on the floor together, but we're not going to have that opportunity. We haven't had that opportunity, and so you look at playing really small, and there's a lot of games coming up that's going to allow us to do that, or you look up playing really big, which we did in the Indiana game when John wasn't there, and you start Bruno and Damian and you play Alex. So the matchups are one part of it. The other part is just find opportunities where we think we can be successful with our guys, and the guys we're playing heavy minutes. And tonight's another example where we finally get to play a lot of Kevin, John, and Trae, hopefully, but we also get to throw Cam and DeAndre out there, and we're going to start them all and play them all and see what they look like together. It's no secret, those are the guys we're heavily invested in, and some of these games gives us opportunities to play those guys together and see what their chemistry and cohesion looks like on the floor.
Coach, this is obviously year 2 of the Trae Young experience. He's had a much bigger role this
So
year.
what? I'm just messing with you.
How has he grown as a leader with the increased
He's grown as a player. I've said before, it's a lot to put on a young player and say he's the leader. I think there's a lot of maturity that he's added to his game, understanding, on-floor coverages and schemes and how to attack and how to empower. I think, his work ethic, just coming in the gym and being able to get better and find ways to get better. Leadership is something that is going to be ongoing for any young player. They're still learning their way and trying to navigate through the league. So leadership for himself is more about maturity, not so much, he needs to get Cam on the right page. There's a lot of stuff that Trae has to learn, a lot of stuff that John has to learn. A lot of that responsibility falls on me in helping these guys mature, gain experience, learn from the experience, but we're not putting any extra pressure on these guys to be leaders. Good? All right, thank you.
Hey NBA fans, Kelly McGill here. If you like that last video from Fanatics View on YouTube, be sure to subscribe down below for exclusive NBA content.